All right, let me know when you're ready, Brian. All right, go for it, Steve.
Good.
Hello, everyone. This is James Donaldson with The Contemporary Gentleman, and today we're going to be talking about Anson belts. 3 straps in particular. I do want to take a brief moment to say you can support me on Patreon, and of course following me on Instagram and TikTok are great ways to see what I'm doing and what I'm working on. Anyway, getting back to it, let's dive into the meat and potatoes. So, as I said, diving into the meat and potatoes, Anson belts, what are they? Well, they're a holeless belt, and they use a ratchet system. So you've got a spring-loaded little clip there. So this digs into the ratchet, which is sewed in to this part right here. And basically, you slide it in. Now when it comes to attaching them, another great feature that this company has employed is that you can have different straps. Ooh. Now, what you can do is you can easily attach and detach the straps from different buckles. You could have one buckle, a few different straps, vice versa, or have tons of buckles and straps, whatever you want. So, you got your little deal here. Kind of like a buckle for a web belt. You stick the strap in, flip this over, and that's it. Now I would ratchet this, but we'll talk about how I broke that buckle here in a minute. Now, some of my kind of first impressions and things that have held out is, one, they're very stylish. When I'm testing something for concealed carry, it needs to look good, because I like to not look like I'm necessarily somebody who conceals. And also it has to be very durable. So basically I want a belt that could hold up to the rigors of warfare while looking like I'm nowhere near the battlefield. So these tick that box very well, especially when it comes to all the different varieties and combinations that you can get, which I will talk about shortly. Now, some of the other ergonomics I like about it, or when you think about adjusting a belt with holes in it, you have to tighten it a lot. So let's say you put the belt on, then you kind of get moving, and then you're in less of a private place and you need to adjust your belt. So some people kind of freak out when you pull it out, try to adjust it. It makes a bunch of noise. So with these, of course, not the case. It's more of a very subtle and so. That's something I like about that. Something else I like is so they all come roughly the same length. Now they do have one additional length for people that need more so, but the rest are pretty much one size fits all. And so what you do is you get your belt in the mail, and then you figure out how long you need it, and you clip it. And something I like, especially with the fact that you can have different straps, is different pants are going to have belt loops in different places. I have 2 pairs of khakis. If you've seen my Banana Republic video, or if you haven't rather, check it out. But 2 pairs of khakis, and then I have a pair of jeans, and the belt loops are not in the same place on any of those pants. So it's kind of nice having a couple different straps where I can kind of optimize, and that way the belt, once I slide it through, it's not either just short enough that it keeps popping out from a belt loop, or so long that it's ridiculously flapping around along my waistline. So those are a couple really great features I like. Now let's get a little more into durability. All right, let me know when you're ready, Brian. All right, go for it, Steve. Alright, stop! So as you've seen in the video, the belt broke. It did. Honestly, it was just a silly idea I had because now I started with this lighter weight belt. And these belts have to put up with a lot of stress. Now I started with this belt and it put up with the stress of my Glock, except I had the threaded barrel and an X300 light. So larger, heavier light, definitely a bigger weapon system. And I carry with the 12 round Magpul magazine and then a 17 round as well as my backup. And so I started in a tier 1 concealment holster, and then I was carrying that way. And so eventually I got to the point where I'd put this this strap on Anson Belt, or on Instagram enough. Anson Belt reached out. After a brief back and forth, I discovered they had a concealed carry belt, which I didn't previously know about. So I got one of those, and that's what I've been using since. Now, this belt has held up very well. The second holster I was carrying with was the TRX Arms sidecar, same weapon setup with the X300, etc. And then eventually I downsized, finally couldn't take it anymore, to where I just have this, which is no threaded barrel, XC1 Surefire light, much smaller. This is a lot easier rig to carry. So anyway, but the point of all that is that, as I talk about in my Banana Republic pants video, is that there's a lot of weight pushing down on the belts, and there's a lot of weight pushing out especially. And so one day I just kind of wondered, well, how much outward force could it take? What if I wrapped it around 2 trailer hitches? And as you saw, didn't pan out well. Actually, what happened was the buckle, it bent the metal piece that sticks into the ratchet part, which is actually impressive because I thought for sure the ratchet part would be torn out. So that is very much a testament to the strength of the straps. And honestly, as much as someone might say, well, the failure was in the buckle, Anson Belt thought that it would fail here at the clasp, which is also, if someone was going to tell me it would fail on the buckle, that's where I would think. So yet again, it is a testament to this clasp and the strap itself, because neither failed. And this is a pretty thin piece of metal. Now, does it do the job, and has it very well achieved the job for me using it in the manner as directed? Absolutely. So this is engineered just fine. No one engineered the strap or buckle for you to pull one truck with another. I was just kind of being silly and curious in the name of science. So the fact that it failed here actually, I think, delivered a lot of good news about the setup of these. But again, I was using the belt in the manner other than directed, so I really don't look at the failure as something that's super negative. I will also add that before switching to Anson Belt for years, because I could never find a belt that was classy yet durable, I actually used plain old Walmart belts, brown belts, $20 from Walmart, and they were okay, but they definitely didn't fit the classy side as much. A lot of times I wear shirts untucked, so I kind of let that go. But the problem was that the Walmart belt finally failed at the buckle. The strap came out of it, and it was held in with 2 screws, and I had to fix it and pray that it held long enough for my Anson belt to get in. And now that my Anson belt, or since my Anson belt came in, now that I've been using those, I'm never going to look back. Their ergonomics, their durability have been outstanding. And if I ever did have a strap break, I could simply replace it and throw it on another buckle. And of course, if I ever wanted to do anything new as far as buckles, I can still be using the same straps. Now to talk about this strap for a minute. So, regarding this strap, they sent it to me for the test, so obviously I broke the buckle, but the strap was totally fine. So, I went ahead and used it on a night shooting event, which some clips you'll see, and or did already see. And this belt, looking it over, checking it out, it's very rigid, it's very sturdy, so I will actually, happy accident, I will continue to be using this belt for shooting functions, depending on what the shooting function is. For just normal outside or indoor range days, I think this is going to be the belt for me. Commenting a little more on durability going back there, so there is another type of holster I have used with some of these belts, and it's this Safariland belt loop. And I was doing it. Luckily, I can open carry at work. My very pro gun where I work. So I could wear this into work and have my gun on me all day. So I will say that with the original strap, the non-concealed carry, which is a little less durable, they're just the faintest little marks from the concealed carry holsters. And so when I got the concealed carry belt, there are really none of those marks looking at it here. Now, I thought, okay, well maybe this will be a good test. And it was a good test, and it showed that I really can't look on this belt and tell you where this was sitting. And I pretty much sit at the same place, so it is wearing in roughly the same place, and those marks aren't on the concealed carry version. And so I would say that this belt alone has been quite outstanding for that kind of use. Now, since I do wear that seriously, the idea that now I've kind of done my test and that I can use this belt, this web belt, or web style belt, I think they call it canvas, the fact that I can use it instead, I'm really excited for. I think this is going to be a great range belt, and hopefully people ask me about it. And of course the great thing is, it's okay I broke a buckle, because I can just use this other buckle. Now to hit on style one more time real quick, and I do want to use this kind of as a part of caveats and variables as well. There's a couple other brands I think that are making belts like this. One for sure, it's Core, I believe it's Kore. I did ask Anson Belt about them, and they just kind of were like, yeah, it's another group. But what I can see is that when it comes to style, so basically when you're trying to achieve what I'm achieving, Core very much is giving you the sheepdog eye conceal carry look, especially when you can get away with it a little bit with the straps, because just normal brown straps, fine, but the buckles, etc., it's all a little aggressive in terms of appearance, a little more edgy, and not like, like, I don't know, Hot Topic edgy, not something like that, which, not my thing. But anyway, I will say that the added benefit of Anson Belt is because this non-concealed carry belt was so effective in doing its job that you really don't have to stick to the concealed carry line and still use these belts to conceal carry. They're still durable. I don't remember if I mentioned already, but basically I've been using these belts for a year now. I started with one, the non-concealed carry, wore it for just shy of 6 months, and then switched to concealed carry one, which I think is going to last a very long time. And I probably won't use the canvas one much, except for, like I said, range day. So these are not just initial impressions of mine. I will add one more thing about the wear, but all belts have done this to me because of how my body is, sweat, etc. Leather bends. It doesn't matter who made the belt, the leather is going to bend and form to your body with enough time. So, kind of evidence that I have been wearing these for over a year. And moving on. Last kind of couple notes I'll offer is there's basically two sizes that Anson Belt offers. They have 1.5 inch, which is kind of your standard. Some people even stick with that with formal. And then they offer formal, which is 1 1/4 inch. And they have, as I said before, about great variety in both. Of course, different buckles. Now I would say that I really am, actually I didn't realize before, really am kind of a 1.5 inch, even for formal wear kind of guy. So I think I would just stick to 1.5 inch. And I did ask them if they were looking at going to 1 3/4, because a lot of tactical belts, setups, things like that, are aimed at that. I kind of asked about would they consider that, and right now there's not really a draw for it, which I totally get, and I think 1.5 inches is totally fine. More asked out of curiosity. So that is not an option. However, I don't think it's a problem. I think everyone is going to be just fine at 1.5 inches, especially if you're just looking for a couple straps. I will say pricing is really great with them. They're about $20 to $25 for each item. So you're looking at $20 to $25 for a strap, $20 to $25 for a buckle, and of course you can get sets where you save a little money. And what I like about that is it's all pretty affordable. And if you want to start out with one type and then get another strap, you're not looking at breaking a bank. So whereas that Walmart belt ran about $20, $25, you got to strap in a buckle, that's all you got. And as you've heard, there was definitely wear and tear put on it. It only lasted so long, and then I was out and had to, of course, buy new stuff, and I couldn't get different options or the ability to change colors, white, red, black, canvas, etc. So, at this point, I'm about to start rambling. Anson Belts are a great product. So, let's get to the close. And the close. No matter who you are, what market you're in, you should buy Anson Belt, because everybody needs belts, and with the variety that they have, they're going to be able to satisfy pretty much any of your belt needs. Now, I would even go ahead and be so bold as to say Anson Belts are the last belts you will ever need. This is James Donaldson with the Contemporary Gentleman, and until next time, keep your composure.